Hi Gaon. I am Jacaro Toro, and on this channel I talk about Australian Aboriginal languages, predominantly about Pama-Nyungan languages, that is, languages of the big Pama-Nyungan language family. So, in an earlier video I talked about paper and paper bark trees from two perspectives, the European one, that is the perspective of the incoming Europeans, and the Aboriginal one. And we talked about this word, marimari, for paper. So today I thought we might ask, what about writing? How do you express to write in Australian Aboriginal languages? What did writing look like for the Aborigines who first saw it? Yes, we will get to that. And we will look at two languages, two neighbouring languages in the northwestern Western Australia. First, the Ngarla language, which is the language I have studied in detail. And then its neighbouring language, Nyangumarta, which is only distantly related. But we'll start with Ngara. So in Ngara there is this verb, yajiri, which is the present tense form, by the way. There is no infinitive in the languages in this part of the world. So why no infinitives? Speakers of Western European languages might ask. Because in Western European languages we do have infinitive forms of verbs. Well, it so happens that strictly speaking you don't need an infinitive. We only need to go down to southeastern Europe from here where I am in Scandinavia to find that the languages there do not have infinitives. So anyway, yajiri, which originally meant to sew, stitch, and to spear. So essentially to pierce something with something sharp. And we have this example. Palaganillo. Palagani, the demonstrative for something that is mid-distant. And lu, the ergative ending, suffix. Jauja nganunga. Jauja comes from English trouser. Jauja, trouser. Yes. Nganunga, first person singular genitive. So my trousers. Yajiri. So that one is sewing my trousers. So what did writing look like? Well, for the Aborigines in this part of Australia, the northwest, that first saw it, it sort of looked like the Europeans were sewing on paper. And this combination seems to have become lexicalized in Ngara. This verb, together with marimari, means to write. And here in this combination, marimari does not take case marking. So here in this example we have nyayingojara. Nyayi, the demonstrative for something that is close. Ngo, the relevant ergative case suffix here. And jara, the dual suffix. Yajiri bula, where bula is the third person dual verbal ending in Ngara. So these two are writing, is what this means. Yes. In Ngara you may also express to write as to put on paper. Then the verb for put is used, and in that context mari actually takes locative marking. So we have wanga, a fairly general word that means language, speech, can mean other things connected to language and speech. It's better to translate it as words here, as we will hopefully see. Ngaya, first person singular nominative, that's the subject. And pananya, the third person plural pronoun in its accusative form. And since it is in its accusative form, we can conclude that it belongs together with wanga, that they together make up the direct object. The pronoun here being included as a marker of definiteness. And since it is the third person plural pronoun, it of course also marks plurality. Wanjallu, put with purposive mood. So this means I intend to put the words on paper. In Nyangumarta, we find a similar situation to that in Ngara. We have this verb here, and erna at the end marks non-future tense. The same with erni here. We can see that the non-future tense ending takes on the same vowel as is found earlier in the same word, the word it attaches to. So, yandana, which originally meant to spear, poke, knit, and sew. So essentially the same meanings as ngara yaji, yajiri. But this verb also took on the sense to write. This is a complex verb with a slightly different meaning or slightly different meanings. Marnajini. Originally, this verb meant to mark, to carve, to draw, but also came to mean to write, after writing had been introduced by the incoming Europeans. Here we have one example with the first verb. We have marimarengi, where ngi is a locative ending, taking on the same vowel as the previous one. So the vowel in the ending becomes the same as the previous one. So this situation is slightly different from the one found in Ngara with the yajiri verb. So, yandana, non-future tense. Third person singular subject is zero marked on the verb, but we have the pronoun here, palingjo. So paling, third person singular pronoun, taking a ergative suffix. And then we have the third person plural object marker on the verb, janago. And we have muar, which means word. So what does this mean? Mari mari, of course, meant paper originally. It also came to mean book by extension. So according to the translation in Janet Sharp's Nyangumarta grammar, this should be interpreted to mean he wrote the words in a book for them. So muar does not have a plural suffix, but is still interpreted to be plural here. Usually when you write, of course, you write words, not just one word. Anyway, writing from the Aboriginal perspective. This is all for today, but I will see you later.